Hi Stampers, welcome to my stamping spot. Today we're going to make a card that I did in club for the month of August. This is one of our club projects. It's made with the stamp set Artistic Etchings. And I'll show you that right here. This is a really cool set. I did not like this set till I went to convention this year, and so many cards that I got as swaps were made from this, and I've really fallen in love with it. So it's just a really great set to do a lot of great things with. One thing I liked about it kind of had a masculine look to it. So anyway, this is the card that we're going to be making, so let's get started. Here are our measurements for our card. The top piece, I'll lay this over here so you can see this. The top piece is 3 inches by 2 1/4. I'll just double check that. Yes, 3 inches by 2 1/4. This piece is going to be 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. And if you notice, these actually are the same width on this, even though they're layered. But on the card, I'm going to be tearing this edge off, so I wanted to start out with it the same size so I could tear it off and it would be different. The next one is 3 1/2 by 2 1/2. Our next piece is 5 1/4 by 4. And our last piece, which is our base card, is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. Okay? So let's get started. And I forgot my bone folder, if that's okay. I've got one right here on my hand. So we're going to fold our card in half. And our next piece, as you can see on here, this is embossed. So I have not showed you guys the Big Shot yet. So let me pull this thing out. We're going to emboss. This is one of our embossing folders. I'm just going to put this in here. I'm going to make a sandwich. I'm going to use my clear piece here and my next clear one. And the great thing about our Big Shot, this all comes self-explanatory on each of the different pieces of the can't think of thing, multi-purpose platform. It tells you how to kind of put your pieces together. So you're going to make our sandwich, put it in here, and roll it through. Okay. We'll set that aside. So here is our piece. I'm going to open this little guy up. Using it just like this is great, beautiful. You don't even have to do anything to it. But this is a cool little technique that lets you kind of pick up the dimensions of that embossing. You're just going to take one of our sponges, and I dip it in my ink, and then I'm just going to start rubbing it. You see how cool that is? It's like magic again. I love cards that act like magic. So it's just going to expose that design underneath that ink and really make it pop out. This kind of looked like the Poppin' Pastels a little bit. We could call it popping embossing. So you can make it darker, lighter, however you want. If you want the blue under here to be darker, you can just make it your own. Do whatever you want. I want mine to show up really good. So there's your piece. Alright, I'm going to set that aside. And the next thing we're going to do is start stamping. We're going to stamp our Eiffel Tower, and again, I'm stamping this off to my left so that I can tear that extra piece off, and it will be layered really good and centered. So we're just going to tear this piece. One thing about tearing, you always want to tear towards you so that you expose the edges of the paper like this. If it's this side, it doesn't look pretty, but if you have the edges exposed, you can then go back and really sponge it like this and pick up those the different layers of the paper, and it really looks attractive. Okay, so here we go on that. The next thing we're going to do is take our we used to call it monoadhesive. Now it's snail. Layer it on our blue, and then our next one we will layer right here on our brown, which is the new Early Espresso. Love the Early Espresso paper. One thing about when you've embossed your paper here, because there's not a lot of the surfaces are different layers, excuse me, sometimes your paper doesn't want to stick to it really well. So I usually try to use either Pop Dots or sometimes the Mono all-purpose glue, which is, I call it the green glue because it's in the green stick. And this is that. But anyway, it's really good for using when you want something to really stick. So I'm going to layer this little guy on here. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a piece of our new Early Espresso grosgrain ribbon. We're going to cut it. Then this little guy, I don't know if you've seen this little thing laying over here. This comes out of our Hodgepodge hardware set, and I believe it's called a ribbon slide, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of hard to see, but it's a cute little flower ribbon slide, and it's great when you're wanting to add a little bit of some really pretty embellishment to your card. So you're just going to thread your ribbon through here, just like that. Oop, there we go. And then we're going to attach this right down at the base of the card. I like to add a little bit of tape to my ribbon so that when it's down it will stay in place and I don't have to worry about it moving. So we're just going to attach that right to the bottom of our card. Turn it over and tape those edges down. And there we go. And then we're going to add a little bit of tape. And be careful when you're adding your tape to the back of the embossing. Sometimes it'll flatten out the embossing and it won't look quite as crisp. And there we have it. Isn't that a great card? And here's the other one I had made. It's not quite as dark of a background. And I actually even did some more sponging around the blue so it kind of blends in more. Make it your own. Do whatever you like. Enjoy stamping today. Toodles!